Hello and welcome to another edition of the Alta Confusion Hangout. I am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific counter himself, Zealeus!
Yeah, are you ready to roll now that your hat on the correct way?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Well, it's hard to keep track because it goes backwards and you say, let's start, and I look up and next thing you know, it's forwards. I just can't keep track of which way your head is.
I like to keep everybody on their toes. What can I say?
Well, I'm not standing, so I'm just going to stay on my butt anyways.
Well, you could still technically be on your toes while sitting. Like I am right now. The rest of my foot is not touching the ground, just my toes.
No, like the side of my foot.
Okay, fine, whatever.
It works. Well,
all right,
Charlie's drinking water at a podcast?
Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the abridged version of the Alta Confusion Hangout simply because I have somewhere to be at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So unfortunately, we'll not be able to go over the hour mark, and I won't be broadcasting a random game on the Ouya afterwards. I apologize profusely, but perhaps Zealeus can give you a live stream of whatever he's doing.
It simply means that we're the length of a normal other gaming website podcast now.
Yes.
Yeah, perhaps I could stream because I'm actually to the point of Final Fantasy XIV where I think I'm about to enter a dungeon.
Well, there you go. Give everybody a little sneak peek, huh? But speaking of MMOs, funny thing happened to me yesterday, and I wrote about it, but we're going to talk about it in just a second here. And that is, there's a new MOBA out there because all of a sudden it's like MOBA Central. Everyone's trying to make a MOBA, and of course, if you don't know what a MOBA stands for, that's a multiplayer online battle arena game. The latest one, the big one, is Dawngate, which is actually published by EA. I can't remember the name of the group who's developing it off the top of my head, but I should, since I subscribe to their channel, which of course is the only way that you were able to interact with the chat room. Now, I get an email.
Games.
Huh?
Waystone Games.
That's right, Waystone Games. You're right. Okay, so I get an email yesterday at 6:45 p.m. indicating to me that they're going to have this live broadcast from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. on January 22nd, and that you should tune in all day for chances of prizes and closed beta keys. Now tell me, what's wrong with this picture? Zealeus?
Kind of oddly timed notice.
Yes. Could it be that by the time I finally got the email, they're already almost 5 hours into said 12-hour stream?
Perhaps they could have given, a couple-day warning or a week's warning or like advertised it ahead of time. 6 hours, a warning is not.
Well, see, I think one of the biggest issues is that, when you're trying to broadcast how awesome your game is now, instead of, it's an interesting thing. You're not trying to turn away people from wanting to close beta, but you're trying to create more want for the beta. And to do that, they're doing live streams, especially on Twitch TV.
Makes sense.
But the thing is, if you're trying to gain an audience and you're sending out a mass email, because I'm almost 100% sure that's a freaking mass email, because if you looked at the way that it was formatted, it's a mass email.
Right.
You may want to start sending that out half a week, 4 days beforehand, because I'm not the super awesome Uber admin of Exchange servers or mail servers for that matter, but I know if you try to bulk load a mass email, it takes a while. I know this because there was a company I was working with that had to, I think it was every Monday morning, they were sending out these status reports for over 16,000 customers. And it literally took just 16,000 customers. It took 4.5 hours. So if you multiply that by probably the millions that they sent out to make sure everyone knew about Dawngate, we're talking a shit ton of load on that mail server or mail servers. And so I if you're trying to promote your product, not the best thing. The thing that you don't want to do is make it look like you're incompetent. And the incompetency is pretty high when you're sending me an email about an event that started 5 hours prior to when I received the email.
Minor details, you.
Yeah,
They have way too many expectations of those game publishers. Really? Do they actually have to stand them out ahead of time? I mean, come on, yo.
Also, speaking of online games, Zealeus made a comment about the Elder Scrolls Online video, and made a further comment of the fact that there's not as many hotkeys as traditional MMOs have, and that is simply because you're looking at a game that they're trying. I think we're at the point, if you're going to be dealing with this scale of game, you're talking multi-platforms, and so simplification of the hotkeys means that you can map it to your controller.
Well, it can work. I mean, about, like, say, Guild Wars 2, for instance,
right?
Where each weapon has, what was it, 6 hotkeys,
mm-hmm.
and plus 3 special per your race or
right.
that you got. I mean, it's not a bad thing if you're limited in the number of hotkeys. It's just kind of sometimes how it's implemented.
Right, absolutely.
You can sometimes go the other way around. Remember when I played Rift, I mean, there's skills in my class I'd use like once every 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of silly when you get, abilities that you basically never use because they're just worthless.
Right.
And, all usable skills is much more enjoyable than having these 4 skills that just, you get them at like level 30 and you try figuring out how I'm going to use this and it's just worthless. So, it would be interesting to see. I watched the video, 8 minutes of a battle against the boss fight, and from what I took out of it, it basically looked like every MMO I've ever played from a battle. You know what I mean? It's
right.
Like, you had the tanky kind of, you had the healer, he was pulling aggro. It was like, okay. So, it looked like a fun battle, I suppose, but it's just hard to say. I'll say the one big difference in that battle versus other MMOs, you played like the Guild Wars 2, or now that I'm playing Final Fantasy 14. A lot of times, say there's like the conal frontal effect, right? If you're watching the Elder Scrolls, you actually saw, like, it's not like there was like just this red cone of death. It was actually like the fire that you had to get out of the way of.
Right.
So you actually had the particle effects, and you had to watch for those instead of a lot of MMOs. It seems like they're kind of going towards just have red, stay out of red, period.
Right.
Whereas Elder Scrolls was you actually have to watch for fire and different elements on the floor. So that was one little difference, but obviously, just from a little 8-minute PvE, it's hard to say what the game's actually about. Right,
absolutely. I mean, it just, I'm sure that for many people out there, it was just yet another little bite-sized chunk that wants them, that makes them want the game more. But there are individuals out there who will never be satisfied unless they can get their hands on a demo or some kind of beta where they can get their actual hands dirty. Like me, I'm a hands-on learner. If you show me video after video after video, I might retain some of the stuff, but if you let me mess around with it, I can learn a lot more.
The only thing I did like about the video, though, is it seems like a lot of pre-release videos, they're like 10-second snapshots without the interface. Like, here's a video of what happened, but it doesn't really actually show anything. But this is actual gameplay footage.
Right.
So as far as what a company shows you, this is definitely much more than you see in most video games from the company themselves.
Right.
So,
I was thinking about this when you were talking about the size of the hotkeys and stuff, and I have to say that I do enjoy like the MMOs where you have a larger hotkeys for all your abilities, so that you have, like, usually that I play is I've got like 2 or 3 these skills I'm going to use like every single battle, and I kind of rotate out the ones that I gain to see if they're actually going to work. And the more hotkeys that are available to me, the more I can tinker around and find that perfect build. But when you limit the hotkeys, now I'm risking the chance of, well, I've gotten so proficient at these, 4 abilities, I don't want to risk switching out for this new ability that I don't know if it's actually going to work the way I want it to work.
That's a good point. Yeah, it looks, so far from playing Final Fantasy 14, it looks like a lot of the skills are intended to build on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the ability to get a level 10, if you capture level 1 ability, the level 10's abilities damage, or as they call it, potency, is like double.
Right.
So it seems like there's kind of like a lot of skill building from the different classes, where, you know, that level 1 skill, you're still going to use because you need it to basically build up so you get more powerful with kind of each strike you take.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like that seems to be kind of a pattern I've seen in the game from the attack classes.
Right.
It's kind of that progression of skills that you kind of, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to use all of those because it kind of increases your damage as you go.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I don't like that drives me nuts that World of Warcraft was really good about is you had a lot of, say, like combos or finishers or stuff like that, or like reflexes, or like if you parried or something, you know, you get to do extra damage or something.
Right.
And then like boom, pop on your screen, so it's like kind of right there, very easy to tell.
Mm-hmm.
In Final Fantasy 14, maybe there's a way to do it. I just haven't found it yet. Your hotbar just highlights.
Mm.
And it's like, it's really, I mean, you know, you play enough, you figure out you don't have to look at the hotbar to know what your skills are.
Right.
So you're just kind of looking at the screen, so sometimes it's really hard to notice, oh crap, the skill proc I didn't even notice.
Right.
So that's kind of like one annoying thing. Oh, I gotta wonder if there's macros for the game, or a lot of it seems like most of them, because they use the Lua, whatever you call it, programming language to be able to create mods for.
Yeah,
now,
Lua is very popular.
I saw Final Fantasy 14. They do have a thing about Lua, so I'm sure they have some kind of downloadable stuff.
Right. Let's see here. I have not played any MMOs. Surprise!
You've never been. You're not the big MMO player. It's all right, yeah.
No, I'm not. I really am not. I just don't have the time. I mean, I have to say that Defiance caught me pretty good for a little bit, but
a good chunk.
Yeah.
Have you played Defiance lately at all?
No.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe someday I'll check out Defiance game just to see if they've added anything. But
right.
I think I've kind of played. It was a fun game while I played it, but I've kind of played my, playthrough.
Right. Okay.
Game like FPS doesn't really appeal to me to go like dungeon hunting or raiding on.
True.
Because like FPS, like I'm fine. Like if I miss a few sniper shots on my own, I don't care.
Right.
Whereas like if you're in a group and you miss your sniper shots and like then everybody dies because of that, I don't want that kind of. It's different. It's like a different dynamic.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk a little bit of other news here. Excuse me. I think, now, Zealeus, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you ever actually take a second to play Blackguards?
No, I did not. I'm a failure.
All right, well, Blackguards is officially available. It is out. It also has a demo version that will play the first chapter of the game. Now, Zealeus, since you are such a cool guy, your freaking key, I believe, will unlock the entire game. If you ever want to get around to that. Let's see here. The next really exciting news is really just for those people in Georgia. So if you're not in Georgia, I apologize, but it's really cool. The Georgia Game Developers Association has announced their next meetup, which is going to be February 11th. It's going to be at CO3. There's a CO3 Sound, which and you'll be able to take a tour of the facility and get a behind-the-scene look at their work on Call of Duty. So that's pretty swanky. Oh shit! Okay. Ultra Confusion needs to email them to see if I can actually video there.
That's probably key. But they like you doing the video stuff, don't they?
The GGDA loves it. The people who are hosting, it really depends on the location. Turner could not let me videotape there because they had 4 or 5 different departments that literally were under like different Turner headings. So I was never going to be able to get that. But hopefully it works out. Yeah. So I also played independent developers. I am still taking on games To review, I have just finished a review for a PC game, and I believe I got an iOS game on there. I think so. I can't remember. I've got so many games coming in and out right now. I have, well, hold on.
I'm holding patiently.
All right. I've got at least one iOS game. I believe 2 iOS games. Yes, I have 2 iOS games going on, both on the iPad. They can be played on the iPhone, but I find that these type of games, okay. So there's one called Moonborn. We talked about this last week, and it's kind of like it's kind of got that. It's like you're in a bouncy world, and you're kind of doing like a lunar lander type deal in a three-dimensional area. So you're a spaceman, and you're bouncing. You cue your jetpack, and you start going slightly like this, and then of course you knock off your jetpack. You kind of slowly go down like this. But of course, as long as your jetpack's going, you're going to go like this until gravity takes you, and then it kind of. You're trying to get through every single level. You're trying to get to this like mask in the sky. It is very challenging. Yeah, I'm not. I don't. It looks like a Transformer mask.
Okay.
It is very challenging. But I have to say that it is the type of game that if you screw up, you're not gonna like say "fuck it, I'm never playing this game again." It's definitely a game that gets better the more you play it, because then you become a little bit more proficient. You understand the rocket mechanic a little bit better and how to land it just perfect to get to the next part. The other game that I am reviewing is called Front Wars. This one reminds me a lot of the Game Boy game. Oh my gosh! Oh shit! Oh my god! I just blanked out on it.
Tetris.
No. Hold on. No. It's called Front Wars. Advance Wars.
No.
Okay, so basically, you've got a huge map. Okay, it's on a grid map, and you've got so many moves that you're every single unit has a certain range of movement per turn. Okay. So it's a turn-based game, and if you're standing right next to one of your enemies, you can attack them, and it basically says, oh, you'll do like 50% of their health you'll take in this round, and then of course terrain also. Changes how fast you can move. You can capture cities to gain more money, so you can buy more troops. I think there's an upgrade mechanic. There's definitely vehicles in there. So I'm interested to play it a little bit more. I just played through the tutorial and through the first mission, but it definitely feels like Advanced Wars. So that's a good thing.
So it's a tactical type game.
Yes, it's a tactical, modern. Unit-based game. You got tanks, you've got infantry. I think you've got rocket launchers, that kind of thing.
Sweet.
Yeah, and I swear to God, I've got another game, but I can't remember what it is.
You still playing the Ouya game?
Oh God, Did I ever write? Oh my God, I am so bad. I apologize, everybody. I have like so many games that I need to review that. Okay. I reviewed the game called Power Up for the PC. It's a great, huh?
I saw that one.
Yeah, this is actually it just got kickstarted successfully, and it got enough so that it's actually going to come to the Ouya. So that's kind of cool. Hopefully, there's going to be a couple extra wrinkles in there, but it's a pretty good game. I of course reviewed. No, I did. I have not. Okay, there's 2 Ouya games that I need to review: Heroes of Loot and. Fuck, what the? I am so sorry. My mind is like, I don't know where it is. The other game is Meltdown.
Meltdown, that's the game I've been playing too.
Which is a pretty solid game. I keep going back to it. You can play in online mode. I'm not exactly sure how that works. I think I'm going to try one online thing, even though I'm like Mr. Anti-online game mode guy, yep. Just to see what it's like. So I'm going to try that.
The only thing I will say, because I've been playing on the tablet with the Meltdown,
Uh-huh.
And running around can be a pain on the tablet because you're trying to touch, you want to go one way, and it doesn't really work very well. So you end up jumping over cover and shit that you don't really mean to. And
Right.
the shotgun guy comes up and blasts you. You didn't mean them to because you meant to go the other way.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
the only kind of frustrating thing about the game. With the controls work pretty well because you have when you're playing on the Ouya, is it auto fire or you have to press the button to fire?
You have to press the button to fire.
So on the tablet version, it's purely auto fire.
So once an enemy's in range, it starts firing.
Yep. Now you can turn off auto fire and do like this weird two-finger thing, like to aim at the enemy. But I just couldn't imagine doing that on the tablet. I'm like, that's not happening.
Right.
So having the actual auto fire as soon as the enemy's in range fires actually works pretty well. Because like if you had to press a button while moving, it'd be an epic fail. But the auto fire, because you can just kind of move around, then actually works pretty well in the tablet, I think.
Right
So
on, right on.
as far as a tablet shooting game, works pretty well. Can be a bit tricky sometimes to try to run around.
Speaking of tablet games, I swear to God, I'm writing a review of Marvel Puzzle Quest this weekend. The amount of money I've spent on Marvel Puzzle Quest, I'm not going into, but I'll just say it's been a shit ton because it's just so easy. Oh, I've got an extra $4.99. Click. But that is, I mean, that's the future right there. I mean, that's what you get suckered into, like, you know, like a $1.99 or $2.99 game, or hell, it could be free. And then if you make it strong enough, you can just milk those fucking microtransactions until someone's bank account is completely fucking empty. I'm not saying that my bank account's empty, but my God, it's easy.
Just your kid's college bank account.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's not going to college anymore. He's going to a trade school.
No problem.
A free trade
He's
school.
just going to work for this company called Ultra Confusion for him to be.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I like about FF14 is it's subscription based. You don't have to worry about any. You know, I know the model for MMOs is obviously free to play.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of enjoying the non-free to play. I think Guild Wars 2 is the only free to play MMO where I didn't mind the free to play aspect.
Yeah.
Most free to play games that pisses me off, Guild Wars worked out pretty well at the time.
Well, the thing is with Guild Wars, it's a non-subscription based game. You have, I mean, there is an entry cost.
Yes, there is true.
So
they do make money off of it, so you get something out of kind of purchasing the game. That's true.
Right, and you know, to be honest with you, I think one of the perks of playing a subscription based game, a couple of them. One, since you know that there's money pouring into the game, you know that they're funded to try to make enhancements and bug fixes faster than a free to play, because a free to play, they're going to be in the red for a lot longer than a subscription based service. Second of all, yes, I know that a lot of the subscription-based games have like a trial mode or something, but the vast majority of a subscription-based game, you're playing with people who actually want to play the game. Yes, there are still some of those morons. You're like, this game sucks, man. I can't believe anyone be playing it. I'm like, okay, you're paying $15.95 a month so that you can bitch and moan about how much this game sucks.
It's like Baron's chat in World of Warcraft. Perfect.
Yeah, Jesus. So stupid. But anyways, you know, subscriptions definitely have a better chance of having the hardcore gamers, where free to play is literally you throw as many gamers as you can at it, and then if it's good, there's going to be a shit ton of them that stick. The rest of them will find the next free to play.
Yeah, and there's plenty out there to try.
Dear God, yes.
Oh, well. I'm sure there'll be another one next month to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. What I'd really like to talk about is some of the big name titles that are supposedly coming out for this next generation of consoles, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Since I bought Reese or whatever the fuck you want to call it, I have not played a game on my Xbox One since release. I've basically been going, Xbox, watch TV. Xbox, watch Netflix. Xbox, what's on CBS? which is
That's
kind
a
of cool.
very important process of the gaming console in the living room now, though. It is the transition of your
Right. You're
NES to now your immersive entertainment system for all.
right. I mean, you're looking at a media-centric device, and that's really what Microsoft's device is supposed to be. Now, the thing that maybe because I don't have a PlayStation 4, maybe I'm not as on top of all the releases, but I don't. It feels like there's nothing coming out for either of them. And PlayStation 4 is banking on you can watch movies and you can play games. And where's the games? September 9th, I think, is the day of awesomeness, I believe. I think it's 9914. I think that's when. Oh Jesus! Oh my God! My brain's completely gone. Destiny by Bungie is coming out. That, of course, will be a multi-platform game, which will be very interesting to see because this will be Bungie's first real hurrah into a multi-platform environment because they are no longer underneath the finger or protection or tutelage or umbrella of Microsoft.
I'm sure they'll do just fine.
Oh, yeah. I think Bungie's basically the equivalent of Blizzard on a console. Though Blizzard is trying to put themselves on the console, but I think that's more of an Activision thing and not so much a Blizzard thing.
Well, Diablo 3.
That's what I'm saying. I don't. If the Blizzard Activision merger never happened, I don't think you would have seen Diablo 3 for the console as fast as you did.
Which is interesting because I heard nothing but good things about the console version of Diablo 3.
Oh, me too. I heard it's actually superior to the PC version.
Yep, that's what
because it's really. I mean, the whole style of the game screamed, this should be played on console. Because no longer are you trying to micromanage all your potions. Because all you got to do is run over the little red or blue bubbles on the ground.
Yep. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Just wait till they come out with World of Warcraft 2 on the console.
No, okay.
I'm being
okay. Okay, turn-based strategy, yes. Real-time strategy game, hells to the nose.
That's why I said World of Warcraft, which is an MMO.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said I thought you said Warcraft 2.
Oh, no.
Well, World of Warcraft 2. No, well.
First, let's hear that there's going to be something, or if they're going to come out with Return of the Lich King as a panda.
Sure. Well, there's still the rumor circulating that Blizzard is under deep cover creating an MMO especially for consoles. Now, of course, they've claimed that there's several projects that could have possibly been that, and then they've been dropped, and then maybe they've been resurrected. But you know what's really happening? Fucking StarCraft Ghost, man. That's what's happening.
For the consoles.
For the consoles.
Yes, that'd be beautiful. And you have to have the Kinect to play it.
Oh, Jesus.
It'll be a truly immersive holodeck type of game.
If only. Now, okay, so I'm going to be honest with you. If just like Rice, whatever the hell you want to call it, they basically utilize the Kinect microphone so you could give action, so you didn't have to worry about pushing a button or something. All you got to do, I mean, if you didn't use the command, then you had to hold down a button until the bar filled up. But if you said the command, it automatically took. So if you're like battling it out and you've got Centurions manning a bunch of ballistas and they're ready, you'll see at the bottom of the screen it said "Stay fire," and I could be just like beating the shit out of people and like fire, and then poof, which was awesome.
That is pretty useful.
I didn't have to wave my hands. I didn't have to nod my head. I didn't have to do like the silly chicken dance. I didn't have to throw up the horns. I didn't have to like stick out my tongue or show my feet.
That makes some sense because that's just an easy say fire because they see it on the screen. So something like that makes some sense at least.
Right. I think one of the biggest issues is that there's certain games out there who see that they want to enhance. I mean, it's my best example is when you create a game and you decide to change from the WASD setup because you think you've got a better setup. And for you, after, programming and playing the shit out of the game for 8 straight months, it works fine. But then when you release it to the general public, everyone's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So I think there's a lot of developers out there who feel the need to try to have this enhanced experience with the Kinect, that if you do what they consider an easy, motion or something, because they've been doing it forever,
Yep.
that it'll enhance the gameplay. And what ends up happening is it just turns gamers off, or they try desperately to find the ability to turn off all connectivity to that game.
Yeah. The continued progression of the immersion in the living room.
Indeed.
For better or for worse. There's always just the good old PC, keyboard and mouse. Boom.
Well, actually, the 360 Kinect you can plug into your computer and you can do stuff with.
Keyboard and mouse. Boom.
Virtual mouse. Boom.
Okay, Steve Jobs wannabe.
Yeah.
I could actually see that, like a holographic to the thing where it's like basically out of the Minority Report.
Oh, fuck yeah. Minority Report. Have you seen that new TV show called Almost Human?
I have not, no.
It's good. It's like Blade Runner meets like oh shit, I had it. Not Well, no, not RoboCop. Blade Runner meets Minority Report, sort of,
Okay.
kind of. Well, so it's in a futuristic society where the police are now at a huge disadvantage because the criminals have, the black market. Black market has this crazy technology, whatever. So all the police, to try to combat all the craziness that's happening around the city or whatever, they're given these things called the MXs, which are basically specialized android that will help them, basically be meat shields, be able to interface with the headquarters, be able to transmit pictures, crime scene stuff, analyze evidence, blah 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 blah.
But what happens when Skynet hits and they become self-sentient and they turn on their masters?
Skynet hadn't happened yet in this show.
Okay, so that'll be like the season 4 cliffhanger.
Yeah, exactly.
Arnold Schwarzenegger makes a special appearance as the Terminator.
Speaking of which, I am very concerned, confused, and excited about seeing the Arnold Schwarzenegger Bud Light commercial. It's supposed to happen at the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
saying.
I don't know anything about that one.
He's in shorty shorts, a tight shirt, a headband, and he's warming up for ping pong.
But I think about it, though, it's brilliant, though, because, obviously, a spot at the Super Bowl, it's what, $5 million for 30 seconds.
Something like that.
But if you already got people talking about that commercial ahead of time,
Yep.
you already made your money.
Yep. Exactly.
So obviously, smart for them.
Exactly.
Because who doesn't want to see Arnold in a tight shirt, apparently? Not naming names.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to do this to you, but I have to run. So unfortunately, we're going
to be running tonight.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we're going to have to close this down. Now, I don't know if Zealeus. I'm pretty sure Zealeus has all of the Ultra Confusion broadcasting abilities, so you can broadcast to Twitch. I think. If not, I'll give you the credentials offline. But anyways, or you could do it on YouTube. I don't care. But if you're going to do it, please broadcast it through at least the Facebook page. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into the Ultra Confusion Hangout. I apologize for the not full length, but then again, maybe you like it in a smaller bite size. So, for myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, we will see you next week.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.